Yo, what's good, YouTube, man? It's Gary with another Fan TV, man. Back at another video. Like the content of the video, go smash that like button, like the content of this channel. Go and subscribe, man. Look, so Ravens training camp day 16. We're gonna talk about some injuries and get some notes about what happened for practice, how we usually do it, and we're gonna hop right into it. All right. So now the injury list is looking a little lengthy, especially after one game of preseason being played. So let's get right into it. All right. So Rasheen Ali, Tyler Linderbaum, Rashad Bateman, Chris Board, Quincy Roche, Nate Wiggins, Arthur Marlette, Sanusi Kane. All right. So let's get into what's going on with the guys, right? So Harbaugh said that Ali and Sanusi Kane both had stinkers. If you watched the game, you saw Sanusi Kane deliver a big hit, and I believe it was in the fourth quarter, and the trainers had to come on the field and get him, right? They said it's just a stinger for him. Same with Ali, all right? Great. Linderbaum and Bateman hasn't really been much of an update on Linderbaum at all. Bateman, Harbaugh said that he's close to coming back, right? He's dealing with it. He was dealing with it called a midsection injury, right? So he said Bateman is close to coming back. How close? Don't know. All right. Chris Board left the game versus the Eagles with a concussion, so I'm assuming he's still in the protocol. The game obviously just happened. Arthur Marlette, we know, is going to miss multiple weeks with the knee injury. And Nate Wiggins, we actually got the great news today that Nate Wiggins looks like he's going to be okay, except for the shoulder injury that is minor. He avoided a serious injury, and he's on track to play Week 1, right, versus Kansas City, right? Whether or not it happens, we don't know yet, but he's on track to play, and that's probably the best news out of everything, obviously, for the Ravens, okay? All right, so return today. The Ravens lost, Nate Wiggins with a shoulder injury. They get a cornerback that came back from a shoulder injury today, which is Trayvon Mullen. He's back out there on the field, right? Before he got hurt, he called a couple interceptions in practice a couple weeks ago. He was playing well, and the injury kind of slowed up his process. We'll see if he can get back to playing well again, all right? And the Ravens also signed another wide receiver. This was a couple days ago, though, at this point. They signed Anthony Miller. He practiced for the first time officially today, I believe. He's wearing number 5 on the offense. At this point of the year, you will have guys on different sides of the ball with the same number. So, he's 5 on offense. Jalen Davis is 5 on defense, right? For this time period, that's what it will be. But the Ravens did sign Anthony Miller. I believe he's about 29 years old. He's been in the league for around 8 years. He has played for the Bears for sure, Falcons, I believe, and Kansas City, right? So he's been around to a couple different teams. I might be missing some as well. But when he first came out in the draft, remember, speed receiver, got open down the field. Made some plays, but kind of never really stuck around anywhere, right? To be more than a kind of wide receiver 3, kind of 4 kind of guy, right? That's what he's going to be here as well if he was to make the team. So anyway, that's the updates on that, right? Now the last injury update I want to give, right? Kyle Hamilton left practice at the end about maybe like 20, 25 minutes left. He went down with a leg injury, right? They said it was a scary moment on the field. He was able to get up under his own power and limped off the practice field, right? Now, hopefully the injury's not serious. Harbaugh said the initial indications are that his knee is stable and that he's okay, right? We'll see. They said they're going to run some more tests on it. But right now, they're saying that he's all right. All right. So very scary moment for Kyle Hamilton and for the Ravens as well as, he's there. If you want between him and Roquan, whoever you want to say, but those are the 2 best players the Ravens have on defense, right? So, and obviously Matabike is in the mix, not just this missing Matabike, but I would say Kyle Hamilton and Roquan, those are the guys that we look at, right? So very scary moment, but Kyle Hamilton, hopefully he's okay. Hopefully this is not the kind of season where the Ravens are just bit with the injury bug, right? Maybe he'll miss a couple of days of practice and he'll be out there again, but it's way too early to even speculate on that, so we'll see. All right. Now, a couple notes from practice today, man. Isaiah Likely was the star of the show today, all right, catching multiple passes today, including a one-hand snag from Lamar Jackson, all right. Isaiah Likely continues to be the kind of guy that is going to impress, right? So the Ravens actually dropped a little, they dropped these training camp highlight clips, right? I mean, it's like a minute and a half, and they delayed the dynamic duo. It was Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely, right? And that's truly what they aim to be this year, right? And I brought this comparison up many times before. I'll bring it up again. It's going to try to be, if I can envision how this offense is going to run, it's going to be like the Patriots of Gronk and Hernandez, right? Where you got your athletic, dynamic tight end and Isaiah Likely, and you got your steady Eddie, great Pro Bowl, all pro tight end and Mark Andrews, right? So and the Patriots ran an explosive offense with featuring two tight ends. So it is a possible thing. The Ravens don't have to be a slow grind offense, right? They can be explosive featuring two tight ends, right? And speaking of that explosiveness, right? They said today was one of Lamar Jackson's best days with the deep ball, right? He hit deep balls to Isaiah Likely and also to Zay Flowers in stride, okay? So that's great to hear, right? Now he threw two apparently on the money, on target deep balls to Nelson Aguilar. Aguilar dropped them both, okay? And both times Lamar Jackson was very, very frustrated, including one time where he took his helmet off and slammed it on the ground in frustration, right? Now Lamar is he's prone to do these kind of things in practice where he just gets frustrated and he'll punt the ball, he'll slam his helmet. It's never really, to me, how I take it, it's never really in the process of showing up a teammate or anything like that. He just wants to be better, right? So I don't really take anything from him. I'm sure Nelson Aguilar ain't offended by it or anything like that. But, this is not uncommon for what Lamar has done before, right? If something goes wrong that he knows it was right there almost to be correct, he's frustrated by it. And I don't mind that at all, right? Now, on Nelson Aguilar part, Aguilar has had issues with drops throughout his entire career, right? That's no secret, okay? Last year for the Ravens, he was pretty good. He had a drop here and there to be expected. But as far as dropping two passes in the same practice for this offseason, that's been unheard of for him, right? So I'm just going to chalk it up as a bad day, right? We'll chalk it up as a bad day and we'll move on, right? But as a whole, outside of Zay Flowers, the Ravens wide receivers need to tighten it up because Lamar Jackson is going to need you to make plays out there. He's going to get you the ball. You got to make the plays when it's delivered to you. So, but I'm not like I said, I'm not making a big deal out of Nelson Aguilar dropping these passes because this is the first time I've really heard of it this training camp, right? He's been honestly the dependable guy, right? Outside of Zay Flowers, he's been a dependable wide receiver. So I'm not going to make a big deal out of it, right? But last but not least, Derrick Henry broke two more long runs today, which has kind of been low key a theme of training camp right now. This is two ways, right? The Ravens' run defense, which we saw versus the Eagles, was not very good. Okay. Now, Derrick Henry is more likely going against the Ravens' starting defense. So does that mean that the starters also aren't getting any push in the run game? Right. That's a very thing. That's a very real thing we need to see come week one. Right. But take it from the Derrick Henry aspect. Right. Derrick Henry, the Ravens needed explosive plays in the running game, right? We love Gus Edwards, but that wasn't his forte. That wasn't his bag, right? We got that from Keaton Mitchell and J.K. Dobbins in years past when he was healthy. We got that as well. So Derrick Henry is the same kind of back where he can make explosive plays out the running game, right? He broke two long runs today. Both of them could have been touchdowns. One of them was for sure. The other one, you're not really tackling the guy to the ground. So, depending on how that play could have ended up, that he could have scored on that play as well, right? So, but one for sure, one, if they were tackling, who knows, right? But yeah, so two big runs for Derrick Henry. That means the offensive line is creating the holes for Derrick Henry to get through. And Derrick Henry, once he gets a full hit of steam, is one of the toughest running backs in NFL history to bring back to bring down to the ground, right? So we've seen this. I mean, he has multiple 90-plus yard touchdowns as a back that's 6'3", 6'4", 240, 250 pounds, right? He has multiple 90-yard touchdowns. So he's an explosive running back. So that's good news right there on that front. They didn't really give too much about the defense, so I can't really comment on that. But offensively, explosive plays today in the run game and the pass game. A little bit of letdown from Aguilar and catching the football today. But Isaiah Likely, big time player, making big time plays, a guy that the Ravens are going to be able to depend on throughout this season. All right, I truly believe that. Okay, and as far as the injuries are getting higher. Right, that's just a part of training camp, playing games, things like that. But as of right now, nobody the Ravens are truly dependent on seems to be in serious condition. Right, Bateman is coming back soon. Hopefully, Linderbaum's coming back soon as well. Initial reports on Kyle Hamilton are good. And Nate Wiggins should be ready for week one versus Kansas City, right? So those are the main guys that we know are going to be contributors to the team this season. And none of them are really out for an extended period of time. I guess you could say it's besides Arthur Marlette, right? Who's going to miss, probably the first month of the season plus, right? Besides that, everybody that the Ravens are dependent on to be healthy is healthy enough right now that we're not worried about it. But if something changes with Kyle Hamilton, obviously, we'll make a video about talking about it, because that's going to be very, very big news for the Ravens, okay? But that's everything about training camp. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, man. I reply to all comments, and I'd love to hear your thoughts and on practice and anything Ravens related, so let me know. But it's Gabriel, to Another Fan TV. I'm out.